If you order groceries right now, they might arrive at your door before you even finish watching a short YouTube video. We are talking about a delivery window of exactly 10 minutes. For decades, shopping in India required deliberate planning. Families relied on local kirana stores, small neighborhood shops, built entirely on physical convenience, personal relationships, and monthly credit ledgers. When early e-commerce platforms arrived, consumers eagerly made a trade. They accepted waiting 3 to 5 days for their orders because home delivery offered an easier alternative to visiting crowded markets. Then, the pandemic forced entire cities indoors. Suddenly, contactless, app-based delivery went from an optional luxury to an absolute necessity for survival. Once millions of people experienced the ease of instant digital access, their tolerance for waiting evaporated. The market was completely primed to pay for pure speed. At the same time, our digital habits were accelerated. Streaming platforms eliminated commercial breaks, and social media feeds trained us to consume short-form video in rapid succession. This constant exposure to instant gratification changed the threshold for human patience. The desire to plan a week of meals or schedule a bulk grocery delivery slowly disappeared, replaced by an expectation of immediate results. Audit Palicha and Kaivalya Vora launched Zepto with the realization that in dense cities, speed itself is a valuable commodity. They optimized their entire operation to commoditize the minutes saved. Achieving that speed meant solving an enormous logistical obstacle. Indian roadways are notoriously unpredictable, filled with heavy traffic and complex neighborhood layouts. By attempting to navigate that chaos in under 10 minutes, Zepto positioned itself against the concept of inconvenience itself. To bypass the traffic gridlock, these companies had to build entirely new infrastructure, relying on a system known as the dark store model. These are small, hyper-local micro-warehouses hidden deep within residential neighborhoods. Customers never walk inside. They are designed strictly for algorithmic routing and rapid packing. A central dark store acts as the hub, calculating the fastest paths to surrounding residential blocks. When a customer hits buy, the system triggers a frantic sequence. Workers pack items in under 2 minutes, handing the bag to a rider whose route is already mapped. These dark stores operate as high-speed fulfillment nodes, built exclusively to erase the physical distance between a sudden craving and a delivered product. When delivery drops from hours to minutes, the incentive to plan ahead vanishes. The friction of waiting disappears, leading consumers to buy only what they need for the next hour. Without the need to plan, shoppers order smaller amounts frequently. A late-night craving for snacks, or realizing you're out of milk, immediately turns into a transaction. This chart illustrates the explosive venture capital funding that followed. Investors recognized this addiction to convenience and poured billions into the sector. What followed was a brutal market war. Rivals flooded city streets with massive fleets, offering deep discounts and free deliveries, deliberately burning cash to lock in consumer loyalty. Investors funded these early losses to secure the most valuable asset in commerce, the consumer's default habit. Controlling the primary app for daily needs provides a massive advantage in the race for urban market share. Despite the massive user adoption, the quick commerce model contains a severe structural risk. The operational cost of extreme speed heavily outweighs the tiny profit margins on small basket sizes. Think about the economics. A customer orders 1 soft drink, 1 packet of chips, and 1 chocolate bar, and expects delivery in 10 minutes. That means warehouses must stay operational, riders must remain available, and technology systems must run continuously, all for relatively small order values. Because sustaining that infrastructure is so expensive, many financial analysts expect the industry to consolidate, leaving only a few massive, heavily funded corporations standing. But the ultimate fate of individual companies almost doesn't matter. The consumer standard is already elevated, and people rarely accept a return to longer wait times. By removing the need for patience, these platforms established a new standard for urban commerce. Even if the individual startups vanish, the 10-minute delivery window is now the baseline expectation for millions of city dwellers.